Cassie, now that the footage has been released, she said, listen, guys, listen. I got a statement that I want to share with you, and I want to get my thoughts off. I got a statement that I want to share with you guys, and I want to get my thoughts off. So I talked about this on the Anton Daniels channel, but I know we got an entirely different audience. We got to get to it. So before we get to Ice Cube and him talking about the political leanings, and before we get into people moving back into their parents' houses and stuff like that, let's just deep dive for a minute, y'all. So Cassie came forth and she said, I am breaking my silence since I've gotten my tens of millions of dollars, allegedly. And the footage was released. And these are my thoughts. Okay? So this is her statement that she posted on social media. Now, a lot of you guys are familiar with the live stream that I did last night, in which I deep dove into all of the intricate details according to what was being shared out here on social media and in songs and Ryan Leslie and everything like that, right? But this is her statement. Let's get into it. Thugging it out. See that? In better times, or maybe not so good times. Cassie decided to go on social media and share a statement. And this is what she wrote. And I'm going to read it out loud for you guys so that you guys can understand exactly the severity of this situation. And then we're going to go from there, all right? Thank you for all of the love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now. But this is only the beginning. Talk about a career rebirth. Domestic violence with the D and the V capitalized is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I'm better today. But I will always be recovering from my past. Now, this first paragraph, we're going to get into all three stanzas. The first paragraph, I get it. I 100% agree with it. Listen, nobody should be ever putting their hands, and I hate that I even have to preface reading this statement by making sure that I tell y'all again, for the 999th time, nobody, and I mean nobody, should ever, man, woman, nothing, man assaulting a man assaulting a woman assaulting a woman assaulting a man, nobody under any circumstances should ever put their hands or their feet on somebody and assault them. Under no circumstances. And what Diddy did and what he's been perpetuating is absolutely 100% atrocious. Okay? Other part of the conversation, now that we got the little nuances out of the way. Who didn't know that Diddy was Diddy way before Diddy ever became Diddy? We talked about that last night. Let me read the rest of the statement. It goes on to say, thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask, now here's where the red flag comes in. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. This ties back into the previous conversation that we just had in the last segment. This ties into the previous conversations that we was having yesterday and the day before. This ties into the previous conversations that we was having about the men being falsely accused too. This ties into everything. Let's get to it. Let's get to the good part. My only ask is that everyone, capitalize everyone, open your heart to believing victims the first time. Let me read that statement again, and then we're going to go to the rest of it, and then we're going to revisit it. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. Words mean things. I just want to make sure I emphasize certain things. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your people. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. The healing journey is never ending, but this support means everything to me. Thank you. Love always, Cassie. All right, let's go back to one statement. Let's go back to one particular statement. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. Listen, I know that this is an unpopular thing to say. I know that this is an unpopular thing to say, but let me just say it and let me say it clearly. I will never, ever, without evidence, automatically by default, no matter whether you're a man or a woman, I'm going to take caution. I'm going to make sure that you're protected, especially if you're under my covering. I'm going to call the police. I'm going to make sure that everybody is held accountable for whatever it is that they say and do. But under no circumstance, let me highlight that again, under no circumstance will I believe by default people just because you said it. You're not going to come back 50 years from now. You're not going to just do it because it's too many people, too many guys, too many women that are falsely accused, and humans by default are liars. Now, that doesn't mean that she was lying, because obviously she has shown, or somebody has shown the evidence to show that she wasn't lying, and she should be taken care of, coddled, and all of that. But I am not on the bandwagon. I will not be. I'm not giving over into it, and you're never going to try to convince me otherwise, that I am by default supposed to convict somebody in a court of public opinion and just automatically say that they're supposed to give millions of dollars and go to jail just because they are accused. No, that's not what I'm doing. I believe that everybody, according to the justice system, deserves their day in court. I believe that the evidence is supposed to show it. I believe that people are supposed to be accountable and held accountable for their actions. But I am not, under any circumstances, just by default, going to open up my heart and believe everybody just because they are who they are. No, never, not at all. I'm not going for it. And so I know a lot of y'all think that that's the wrong thing to say. I know that we all supposed to be kumbaya, but man, listen, I'm standing on that. I see too many guys that's getting released off of the Innocence Project. I see too many people falsely accusing people. I see too many people capping, too many people lying. And although it does make it worse, and so y'all need to hold also, if y'all want this thing to be equal, if y'all want this thing to actually really work, then that means you got to hold the people that are lying just as accountable as the people that perpetuate the crimes. There needs to be harsher penalties on people if they are accused of something and they lie about something that did not happen, especially if it affects other people's lives. They need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, because what they do is they mess it up for people who are truly victims. And then I do truly feel some compassion and sorry for people that are in this situation, because they don't deserve to get their hands put on them. But at the same time, man, everybody. So anybody can say anything, and we just by default supposed to believe that stuff. Come on, man. Come on, bro. This is a dangerous path, and this is the thing that I've been warning y'all about. This is the thing that I've been warning people about, because it's a dangerous sentiment that was said. I told y'all that this was going to happen. I told y'all that this was going to start to be the poster child of it. Diddy is a problem because he then has set people back and women back and men back years and years and years, because he lied about the fact that he did do some egregious stuff to her. And so what happens is everybody is going to have to pay the price for it. Now, men are running scared. Somebody I read in the comments the other day on one of my videos, and he said, man, come on, guys, let's be for real. How many of y'all are really scared? Man, listen, I'm scared to death. And I ain't scared based off of anything that I did. I'm scared based off of the precedent that is set for other men, because I don't even put myself in this position. I'm girded up. I'm lawyered up. I made sure that I don't even entertain any of the possibilities of what could happen with a woman or anything like that. I've been married for a long time. I'm chilling. This ain't about me. I'm scared for you. Because the Innocence Project is still alive and well. Guys are still doing time, still alive and well. Women are still getting beat up, and they still alive and well. It's a lot of part of this culture that we need to have a conversation about, and it's not just believing people by default just because they accuse people of something. That's not the solution. That's not the solution. You could have said anything. You could have said, my only ask is that everyone believe me the first time that I said it, and we could say, okay, yeah, you're right. We knew the context clues. We knew what was happening. Maybe we should have took that more into consideration, but I can't, because you know why? The little rods come after that. We don't hold the Cardi B's accountable. We don't hold the Meg Thee Stallions accountable for the same thing. We don't hold this chick that just came out 21 years later talking about her whole career was messed up because she gave some Gawk 3000. It's hard because when y'all not equal across the board and you're not holding other people accountable, it's very difficult for us to just by default believe everybody because there's too many people crying wolf. If you are a man of significance, if you are a successful person, if you are a public figure, you should really, really be talking with your lawyers to make sure you get all the appropriate paperwork for anybody that spends their time around you to make sure that you are protected against false accusations, because we are now going into the second phase of a dangerous sentiment where we started off in the whole Me Too movement way before the pandemic. If you are a man, it is more important than ever for you to make sure that you exercise discipline, that you are girded up, that you lawyered up, that on your way up to the top, you understand the consequences. Obviously, it goes without saying, don't ever put your hands on nobody ever, and don't do something that you're not supposed to be doing against people. But in a general sense, it is a dangerous sentiment that's being set across the board. Be careful. I've been warning y'all since I've been on the internet. It is imperative. Don't come to me later talking about, Anton, I didn't know, I wasn't paying attention, I was simping out. Be careful. Be very, very careful. That's what I got to stay on that sentiment. Let me read.